Hey BookTube, happy Friday and happy New Year! I am Winx and the ink that I'm talking about today is sort of a combo thing. I'm doing my January TBR, my Friday reads list, and I'm also doing a Bookish Resolutions, which is really just a resolution, but I figured why not throw it in. So let's start off with the January TBR. This month I have a bit of an ambitious list. I want to get through 3 audiobooks, which are really just like 3 audio short stories, 1 graphic novel, and 6 books, but one of the books I've actually already started. So the book that I'm reading right now is The Tropic of Serpents by Marie Brennan, which is the second book in the Memoirs of Lady Trent series. I'm about 100 pages in, getting close to halfway, and very much enjoying being back in the series. I actually was kind of hoping that I would read that one in December, so then I could go into the 3rd book in January, and I'm trying to space them out a bit. Since I didn't quite finish it last month, I am putting it into this TBR, but I'm feeling kind of adventurous, so I'm also leaving in the 3rd book, which is The Voyage of the Basilisk, so that's also on my list. The next book that I want to read is The Line by J.D. Horn. It's the first book in the Witching Savannah series and is a paranormal romance set in Savannah, so looking forward to that one. I'm also planning on reading the 2nd book in the Book of the New Sun series, which is The Claw of the Conciliator, if I'm pronouncing that right. I just finished the 1st book last month and loved the series, very excited to keep going with it. Next, I want to read one of Robin Hobb's books, which is The Assassin's Apprentice. I've actually never read a Robin Hobb book. I hear amazing things about them, and especially lately I've been hearing a lot about Assassin's Apprentice, so that is on the list. Then the last of the novels that I want to read is a vintage sci-fi book, which I'm actually kind of still debating, and I'm thinking I'm going to read 2001: A Space Odyssey, but I might read Bradbury's Martian Chronicles. I'm stuck between the two, so I'll see how I feel when I get to it. I recently saw a video by Hazel at the Space Possum, which I will link below, talking about January being vintage sci-fi month, and I wanted to participate in that, so one of those will be on my list, and you can stay tuned to find out which one. The graphic novel on my list is called Beyond, and it's an anthology of queer sci-fi and fantasy stories. I just got it a couple weeks ago, and I'm very excited about it, so definitely want to fit that in sometime this month. Then the audiobooks are just 3 stories, or just 3 short stories. I think the longest one is just over 2 hours, maybe close to 3. But they're all set in Philip Pullman's universe of his Dark Materials books. And those include The Collector, Once Upon a Time in the North, and Lyra's Oxford. So that's my TBR list, but since it's Friday, I'll tell you what I plan on reading this weekend. As I mentioned earlier, I am currently reading The Tropic of the Serpents by Marie Brennan, and I plan on going through that during the weekend, hopefully finishing that. Then I'm also planning on listening to those 3 audiobooks that I mentioned over the weekend. I'm actually going to spend most of tomorrow traveling since I'm heading back from my trip, so those seem like good ones to listen to while I'm in line for security or waiting at my gate, whatever the airport decides to throw at me. And if I make it through all of those and still have time, I think I will start in on The Line by J.D. Horn. Then last but not least, my 2016 Bookish Resolution. And really it's just one. I have this habit of getting super obsessed with a series, and I won't do anything but read that series. And I'm starting to realize that even though that's really fun, there are so many series that I want to be keeping up with that it's kind of limiting. So my New Year's resolution is to try and do 1 book per month from a series. And I say this realizing that I just said I was going to read 2 books from the Memoirs of Lady Trent series, but I started the first of those in December, so somehow that justifies it in my brain. But in general, my new goal is to read 1 book per series per month. So hopefully this will be helpful in letting me keep up with several series at once. Anyway, that's my TBR list of Friday reads and resolutions. I'd love to hear if anybody has read the books that I'm reading or plan to read this month, and if anybody has any interesting New Year's resolutions they'd like to share. Hope everybody has a good start to 2016, and hopefully next time you see me I will have safely arrived back in my normal environment. I'll talk to you later. Bye!